Hello everyone, my name is Angel and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about adult friendships, making them, sustaining them, and everything in between. When it comes to making friends in your 20s, when it comes to balancing adult relationships, we kind of have a lot going on. Not only are we trying to make and sustain new friends in new cities, in new environments, we're trying to figure out how to navigate through those long distance friendships and those relationships that have carried us to the point in life that we're in now. We are constantly outgrowing friendships that no longer serve us. So being in your 20s, transitioning into adulthood, it's not easy. And that's kind of what my channel is all about, giving you guys resources and letting you know that you're not alone. I went through this, you're going through it. Everyone has been through it, but all in different ways. Before you give up on your new city and making friends, here's a couple things I want you to consider. And I'm gonna give you my friendship advice the same way I would give you my dating advice. So it's gonna be cutthroat, and I apologize in advance. The same way we talk about what are we looking for in a relationship, what are we looking for in an intimate partner, we should be thinking that with our friendships and platonic relationships as well. The biggest piece of advice with any aspect of your life, but especially when it comes to making friends, is you want to find people who are in the same stage of life as you. You deserve to have friends who have your back no matter what. Find people who recognize where you are in life and accept you and support you unconditionally. The next thing that I want you to think about, and probably the most important thing in my opinion when it comes to having friends, is the commitment level that you're looking for from these new friends. What kind of friends do you want? Because I might be the worst friend for you to have. I'm busy Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, coaching nights, and then I work until 5 or 6 o'clock. I'm in events, I'm networking, I'm volunteering. So if you're someone who needs me as a friend every day, texting all the time, we might not align. So you want to find people who get you, and it's okay as you're looking for friends to have high expectations because you're allowed to live your life however it fits you. Even outside of time commitment is an emotional commitment. This is when I really want to remind you to look for red flags in your friendships. I know we talk about toxic masculinity and men being the problem, but women can be just as guilty, especially when it comes to making friends. The one thing I don't want you to experience is one-sided friendships. So when you're a giver like me, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you feel like you're always giving to people and no one's ever reciprocating that same love and attention that you're giving. When I was in college and first out of college, like making friends in a new city or even in my hometown, I really found a lot of flaky people, like consistently canceling, consistently ghosting right before an event, and that is a major ick for me. And I don't want you to think it's okay. As always, we're adults, be reasonable. Things do happen. The same time that guy had to reschedule your first date, things do genuinely come up. But if things come up constantly every time right before we have scheduled to hang out, I don't like that. Last thing I want to say, and probably the most important thing that you're probably wondering is, Angel, where do we even make friends? The first thing you're gonna wanna do is networking events. Now, I'm the kind of person who I hate things like that. I'd rather die than attend a mixer, but you have to. I think when I was at my wit's end of not making any friends in Denver, deciding if I should just leave altogether, I actually joined the Junior League, which is like a network of women who are really involved in community, volunteering, and it's about networking. And through that program, that club, I've made so many good friends. I've made so many connections in the community, and I've gotten to do activities alone per se. Like I decide, you know what, Friday night, I don't have any plans. I'm gonna go on here and pick an activity to do. And I know that other women who are like-minded, like myself, will be there and I can make friends there. I think making friends kind of like naturally versus like a Bumble BFF situation is really where I thrive because my personality is contagious and I love it. So networking events are the way to go. I know a lot of cities have like young professionals networking groups, like under 30 Denver events. So look for them. Like, don't give up before you even try. For my ladies who are a little bit more shy, I did the Bumble BFF route, and I think it has its pros and its cons. Some of the pros being it's convenient. You can sit at home, you can swipe, you can really filter people based on what you do and don't like. And as much as I encourage you guys to be welcoming and friendly to all, it's just not realistic. Like, that's just not the human way. We have preferences for friends we like. Now, because Bumble BFF makes us so judgmental and it gives us so many ways to skip people, I've also noticed that a lot of the friends that I have IRL, like in real life, are people who on Bumble BFF, I don't know if I would have swiped on them. I don't know if our interests align or things that I was looking for in a friend are what they were looking for, but it doesn't mean that we didn't find things that we had in common later on. So when it comes to Bumble BFF, a negative, or maybe encourage you to open your mind, is you really have to be willing to put yourself out there. I think utilizing your profile, letting people know who you are, who you want to be, what you're looking to do is the best way to use these apps. Use all the features, post all the pictures, because you want to come across as one, real, but two, authentic. No one wants someone who looks fake on a profile. And according to Eric, all my dating/friendship profiles look fake, and I'm sorry I'm a baddie. Like, some of us have to do it. The last thing that has worked for me is group sports. Almost all of us growing up at some point did a sport, whether basketball, soccer, dancing, chess, table tennis, you name it. We were in some type of group activity where we developed some type of skill set, whether that's painting, if that's swimming, if that's rock climbing, whatever you want to be. Last year, I joined like a master's level synchronized swimming club, and that's where I've met most of my greatest friends. And I'll be honest, at first it was awkward. At first it was just we'd go, we'd swim, we'd talk about hanging out, but nobody ever made that leap. And as of recently, we've really been like, girls, we need to get together. We went to the Eras Tour movie, we get dinner, I had a paint and sip, we're going to Aspen, like girls weekend in Aspen, like prepare to be sick of me. But give things a chance, allow yourself to warm up to things, try a cycling class, try a yoga class, try putting yourself into the community in ways that you're pursuing things that you want to do, and see who bites, see what happens. Next thing I want to talk about is going to be our long distance friendships. It is so hard to prioritize long distance relationships, but it's not impossible. And I think with anything in life, you prioritize the things that matter to you. I think there's a lot of moving pieces that make long distance relationships difficult. I think FOMO is huge. We see our old friends getting together. I'm so jealous. I obviously went to college in Orlando, so all my friends are still living there, going to Disney, going to Universal, and I'm like, in Denver, like, nobody invited me to come to Disney. Lack of commitment is a huge thing that I see when it comes to maintaining long-distance friendships. People want to prioritize what's close, what's new, what's fun, and sometimes those older relationships don't make it to the front of the line. When I say lack of commitment, I understand that things happen, and I have some friends where I won't talk to them for 6 months, like literally 6 months. But if they call me, I'm there. If I need them, they're there. But we're busy and we have things going on, and that's okay. It's part of being flexible. But if you need someone and they can never show up for you, they're never available, maybe reconsider the priority that they are to you, because clearly you are not a priority to them. I also think the biggest things that keep us from prioritizing our long distance relationships is lack of money and conflicting schedules. People have lives, we have things going on, and I think when you're in a long distance friendship, the biggest thing that you can do for yourself and for your friends is if you have something coming up that is important to you, let them know as soon as possible. Don't wait until the last minute to ask people to fly across the country and spend all this money to do something with you. Some people can, but a lot can't. I feel like I'm like really oily. So when it comes to these relationships, I really want you to think about who are those people in your life that you want to prioritize no matter what. For me, my cousin Corey, like me and her, I try to see her like every 4 to 6 months, which I used to see her every day. And every 4 to 6 months is annoying, but it's what works. And with her college schedule and my work schedule, we can't, see each other as much as we would like, but I call her, I text her, I send her cards. Who are those people who you want to see, and what are you doing to let them know that you're still thinking of them? My friend Bella, she just went to Paris, and she sent me a postcard from Paris, which I thought was so cute, so amazing, and it made me feel like I was a part of her life, even though I don't get to see her as often as I would like. My friend Megan, she sends out Christmas cards every year, so she always makes sure that she gets my updated address because I'm always moving, and as are all of our friends in our 20s. Make sure, side note, sidebar, if you are someone who moves around a lot, send out a change of address, let people know that you've moved. My friends do a lot to make me feel included, and it makes me feel special when I know that someone knows enough about me and my life, even if I don't talk to them every day, to check in with me on situations and moments that mean a lot to me. The next thing is, once you know the kind of people that you want to have around, what are you doing to maintain those friendships? What are you doing to let them know that you care and that you're there for them? I think I just sent out like 10 packages in the mail, like literally 10 boxes of gifts and cards to my friends just to be like, hey, I didn't forget about you. I love you. I think other things that you can do to really kind of navigate this change is make times to when you'll see each other again. So every time I see my parents, for example, I'm considering them to be a long distance relationship because they live 2,000 miles away from me. Every time I see them, before I leave, we have the next time we're getting together on the calendar, whether that's 6 months, a year, and we can see each other before then. But this just lets me know, like, hey, I love you. I can guarantee this time in the future, and we can catch up and kiki again then. I think another thing when we talk about those money issues is, where are you meeting up with your friends? I typically am the friend who will fly home to do things for my friends. I don't mind. I have the budget for it. I budget in to my annual salary trips to see my friends because it is a priority to me. And at the same time that I know I can afford to fly across the country to see my friends, I recognize that a lot of my friends cannot afford to do the same. So when you're talking about commitment in a relationship, be realistic. Because a lot of my friends have student loans, a lot of them have full-time jobs where it's not as flexible as maybe my career, and I might really want them to come out for something and they just financially can't afford it, and that's okay. We're gonna go completely off script here, but I think it's really important to see your friends for small things too. I think birthdays obviously are a huge reason that girls get together. Engagement parties have been like the biggest thing right now, is everyone's getting engaged, everyone's getting married, bachelorette parties, engagement parties, weddings, and it's like, why are those the only times that we can get together? Why can't we just get together on regular occasions? So do keep it in mind that a lot of your friends, even if they maybe can't make it, they still want to be included in, housewarming parties or, events that you do around town, because maybe if it aligns with their work schedule, they can show up for you. So give people the opportunity to show up for you. Don't assume they can't, and make these friendships work. The next thing I want to ask you is, why do you keep these people in your life? What value do your friendships really bring to you? And as always, I want to encourage you to be selfish, because that's kind of my brand here. Put yourself first and really think, are the friends that you have and the friends that you're going through all these lengths to maintain relationships with really worth it? Are they actually great, or were they great in your fraternity and your sorority and now you barely hear from them? I am really against one-sided relationships. I love all my friends, and I'm not trying to call anyone out here, but even my littles, I feel like when I left college and I graduated and they were still in college, I feel like they did a lot and they didn't really think to invite me, which is normal. Live your life in college. But even now as adults, and now that we're all kind of graduating, I feel like I've put in a lot of effort to reach out to them and maintain relationships with them. And I'm at the point where I decided, you know what? The next time I see them, they're gonna reach out to me, and that's gonna be the end of that. You don't want to feel like you're emotionally draining yourself to keep up with relationships with people. We are constantly outgrowing friendships that no longer serve us. I want you to really think about what kind of person you are now and what kind of friends you need to be successful, what kind of friends you crave at this stage in your life. Maybe you used to crave really hands-on friends and now you really want people to take a step back so you could focus on yourself. Maybe you've always been the friend where you're kind of hands-off and now you really want people to check in with you more and make sure that things are going okay, because we're always in different seasons of our life. And the expectations and the commitment that we ask of our friends are always allowed to change. No one really prepares you for how lonely and isolating it can really be, especially when you're in a different stage of your life than people who you grew up with or people you used to be friends with, or, more successful than you in your own eyes. So the thing I want you to do is really look for those one-sided friendships. Look for people who are always letting you down, and let them go. I think not everything has to be super dramaed out, super controversial, although I love a good controversial conversation. Maybe take a step back from friendships who aren't really reciprocating and see if they reach out to you. See if they pick up and notice that your presence is gone. And if they don't, then they don't. And you can move on with the great friends that you're gonna make in this next stage of your life. If you're someone who is constantly inviting people, constantly traveling, constantly being that friend for everyone else, you deserve and you get to have high expectations of what you expect people to give back to you. It is okay to have high expectations of your friends. It is okay to have requirements of friends, but be realistic and recognize that people cannot read your mind. And if they don't know what you're looking for, how can they help you? I was very nervous to film this video because I didn't feel like I had a lot of insight on it, but maybe I did, maybe it was helpful, maybe it wasn't. Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you guys for supporting me and my small channel, which is low-key starting to become a big channel. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, so thank you. Thanks. With that being said, as always, if you have the means, please, 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 as the holiday season approaches, consider donating to Make-A-Wish Foundation in honor of my late friend Nyla. It's actually almost been a year since she passed away, so I just remembered that. That just made me very sad. But anyways, I'll see you guys next week with another video. Sorry to get dark there. It just took me out a little bit, but I love you. Thank you for supporting me. I'll see you next Sunday with another video. If you need anything from me, please comment in the description box below, and hopefully I can get it for you. I have no idea what I'm talking about, so I'm gonna go now. Bye.